We got 2 seconds. Will Todd. Will Todd. I'd vouch for him in a minute.
Hey, we're live now, Yogi.
Okay.
Da, 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 da. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum.
What's up, party people of the MOB, the Mob Members Only Baseball? What's going on? What's happening? What is cracking? Where is everybody tonight? This is the 7th episode of Season 2's Mondays in the Mob, and nobody's hardly here. There's only a few. Mike all made it just in time, he says. What's up, David Leathers and Annie and Clams and Twin Screw and Soto and myself and Yogi? Because that's it. That's all we got. I don't know where everybody is tonight, but Twin Screw.
What's happening?
What's happening? I'll tell you what's happening. We're going to have good story time. I've got a couple stories to tell tonight. We're going to have a special guest pop on the show in maybe about a half hour or so. And we're going to do everything like we normally do. We're going to go a little in depth on game by game. And I've asked Ray to break up his rant. So he's going to do a rant at the end of each segment that we do for a series coming up this week. And then there will not be any awards since I didn't get the fucking thing out. But don't worry about it. You've got time. That just doesn't count until I get back from California. So I'll make sure to put it out here soon. And then you guys can vote on it, and we'll deal with that. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with the people on the show since I always forget to do that. How's that, you guys? Is that better?
Didn't want to be needy.
No, you're. Who's ever said that before?
I've heard it somewhere.
Yeah, maybe somewhere. So Churchill, what's up, buddy? We haven't seen you in a while. You all right? Everything good over there? We haven't seen you for a while. I heard you had a little incident today. So are you okay? Just checking on you. Let me see. So Churchill, Leathers, all Annie, Clams, Twin Screw, myself, Soto, and Yogi. Let's see if anybody's in the back hiding. You know, there's always somebody called Tiaz is hiding. What's up, Tiaz? And somebody called Gortivians. What's up? That's it. We're having our own small little party tonight, apparently. We're over time. What are you talking? Whoa. Oh, you think we're gonna go over? You think I'm gonna go over? I won't go over today. How about that? Do you like apples, Churchill? How about them apples? Here's what we're going to do, though. I'm going to make a couple announcements real quick. I want to remind everybody about the convention in June. It's June 5th, 6th, and 7th. It'll be over the weekend of my birthday, Wink's birthday, Nate Hall's birthday, and Bullet's birthday. Oh, because of overtime. Okay, I got it, Churchill. All good, bro. Hopefully you're catching the VODs and stuff and keeping up the track. Gotcha, Annie. I got it. Look at that. The couple who plays together stays together. What do you know? There's a lot of couples in here now. I want to take a second and let everybody know we've added a few new players. Coach Craven has joined the mob. A lot of people know who he is. Jack Wigmore has joined the mob. A lot of people know who he is. Robert Thump has joined the mob. A lot of people know who he is. And then we had, I don't know how to pronounce the word. It used to be P. Fedor. It's some kind of Russian bunny rabbit name now or some shit. I don't know what that's all about, but that's what the deal is. What's up, Corn King? And it's time for Yogi and I start. Wait, what is that? Oh, so you guys can have couples in here doing screw. You did, Soto. Hey, yo. And then I think that's it right now, right? So I think we have 4 people. We've got a couple more that'll probably be in here by the end of the week. Thump is going to the Yankees to replace Aiden Teixeira. I'm sorry, to replace Cement Shoes, who replaced Aiden Teixeira. And then the others are going to do that AI temp thing for the rest of season 2. I think 6 of the 8 teams will be doing that. There was a couple owners that didn't want to do it, and I wasn't going to force them. Freddie Trammell in the house. Freddie, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Subscribe on his 7-month streak. By the way, don't forget, after this show, I'll be checking subs. So hopefully you guys are good to go. Hopefully the Mets and A's are good to go because they're playing like 30 minutes after the show's over. So we're going to have a whole bunch of people in the booth and on the show, but I told them to take their time because I got a couple stories I'm going to tell. Shouldn't it be first in takes over and then goes from there? I don't know what that means, but no. Hey, Freddie, check out Only Subs. Is that your new website, Corn King? And what is that picture of? Is that swords? Hunt cross. Oh, a hunt cross. Okay. But there are a couple that have decided to jump in and hang out with me while I go through all my story time and stuff. So let me introduce them real quick. Yogi's in the house with me, as always. Yogi, what's going on with you, buddy?
Not much. How about yourself? Ready for another week?
I am ready for another week. And to be honest with you, I'm ready for a holiday vacation. I'm ready to go to California and spend some time with my kids. So
Yeah, it'll be fun.
it will be fun.
It's good. It's good time for a break. We just after halfway. It's good time for a break.
No, it's perfect time. I'm sure
Yep.
Twin Screw's pissed off that I'm going on another vacation though.
Of course he is.
He's always,
Jealous.
he's always mad at me for leaving. And then Greg Soto's in here hanging out with us as well. Soto, what's up with you tonight, bud?
Buenas noches, Dave.
Buenas noches. We got a couple people I don't know watching tonight, checking us out. What's up, people checking us out? Soto, how you doing, bud? How you hanging? You good?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I was either debating whether to use my real voice, Ling Ling, or Timmy.
Don't bring Timmy yet. It's too early for that shit.
It's too early. It's only
you can do that
7:10.
shit later. Corey Metter has joined us now as well. And look at that. All of a sudden now we're up to 20 people. It's amazing how quick that happens. Everybody's late, but I get it. This is an early start, but get used to it on Monday. 7 to 9 is what we're going to do. All right. So Yogi and Soda are hanging out, but I got some stories I want to tell. And so it's story time with The Godfather. I got to get some music for this. I wonder if should I use this for that? The what is that called? Should I do this? The one I play? No. Oh, fuck off, Zach. Here's I want to tell you guys a couple stories. One from earlier or from mid last week, and two from this weekend. None of them will be super long, but they're things that I wanted to share. So like last week I had 0. This week I have 3, so it's balancing out to like 1.5 a week. So you'll be all right. Ray Bashan will be on his way. He's on a 15 stream streak. What I really want to know, Bullet can't be here today, so I'm wondering, he's got his company Christmas party, but he said he was going to check in during the show and then check in again during the game so he didn't lose his streak. So we'll see what the over-under is on that. See if he has too many drinks and forgets all about it and has to start his streak all over because he's at like 30-something. So that would suck. But story time with me. Last Wednesday night, for those of you who don't know, Mike All, Bo Martin Jr., and I can't remember his name. His first name's Angel, and I can't remember his name in the SFL. You guys would know him from there. They have a podcast that releases every other Wednesday. So they record every other Wednesday, and then on the off Wednesdays, the show gets released. It's called Neapolitan Nights with a K, in case you can't see it. It's a fun, humorous, and interesting show, and some exclusions apply. Talon Steele, thank you, Mike. And I got to tell you, we had a blast. So the reason that I bumped everything up an hour last Wednesday was because I had to go do their show, and they usually like to start around 10 because it takes a couple hours. Then Mike All's got to get a couple hours sleep before he gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning for work. Well, here's what happened. I got there. We started about 10:15, and we went to like 2:15 in the morning. We went 4 hours on this podcast with the four of us, and it went so long that they're going to break it up into two-hour segments. The first one, Mike, correct me in the chat, but the first one releases this Wednesday, the first half of that. And then the second half will be the last Wednesday of the year. Does that sound correct? Just wanted you guys to know, if you're interested in doing the show with them, reach out. You can catch them on Spotify. It really is a lot of fun. And it's pretty uncensored and unfiltered, so don't listen to it around the kids. But it was cool, just the four of us hanging out, shooting the shit. They basically wanted to hear my life story, so I told them from birth to now. So that's probably why it took 4 fucking hours. But anyway, I want to give them a good plug. I appreciate them asking me to be a guest on their show. I had a great time. And, maybe another 10 years when I've got more stories to tell, I'll jump back on there or something because now they know everything now. I got nothing else to tell. That's it. So check that out. Sad Trombone. So check out Neapolitan Nights on Spotify. Their shows release every Wednesday. And they've already had like 20-something shows, I think. So you could go back and start listening. Definitely listen to the very first one because it kind of lays the groundwork for the rest. So that's that. Then I want to tell you what Lisa and I did on Saturday. Our Miata Club goes out to, it's a newer veteran cemetery in East Tennessee because the couple of, they get filled up. And I split the screen on the picture up there so you can see when we first got there. You can see there's no wreaths in front of all of those. There were 8,800 tombstones to lay wreaths on. We had the there was a big presentation where in the left picture you can see the tent back there where the flag is, and they had I want to say I bet there was at least 500 people there, maybe more. There was hundreds of people. There's a lot of people. There were so many people there that we had to park way, and they were busing people in, kind of like at the Indy 500 kind of thing. I mean, there could have been 1,000 people there for all I know. They had a presentation. They did the colors. They had each branch, lay the wreath, kind of like the president does, when he just lays the one big wreath. And our county mayor here in Knox County is the former WWE wrestler Kane, I think is his name. He's our county mayor, so he was there and he spoke. And then they did a prayer. We did the Pledge of Allegiance. Just all the things. And then we went to go, and yeah, it's Kane. Yeah, big bald guy. I met him a couple years ago on election night in 2020. Shook his hand, dude. The guy is fucking humongous, man. I'll see if I could dig that picture up. The guy is just huge. But anyway, so they let us go. So when the ceremony was over, we had to walk back all the way over, like behind where I'm taking this picture that you see, and they had just boxes and many boxes, like boxes as far as you can see, full of wreaths, and you could go over there, but you could only grab 2 at a time. You'd go 2, go get back, and whatever. So Lisa and I did 12 combined. So she did 6, I did 6. So we had 3. We made 3 trips with the wreaths. But here's the thing: what they tell you to do, and I want you guys to focus on the picture on the right. You go to the tombstone. You make sure that it slanted at like a 30-degree angle. The bow is at the top. You straighten out the bow for them. You place it down at an angle. You step back, and if you're military, you salute, and if you're a civilian, you put your hand on your heart. And you say the person's name out loud. Ooh, hold on. And I got to tell you, I did not expect I was crying after the first one. To think of all these young people and old people, whatever. And a lot of these are wives. So if you see a tombstone, a lot of them have like, if they have a wife, or a spouse, whatever, that passed, that they're on the backside of that same tombstone because they share a plot. They probably go 12 feet and 6 feet is what I'm guessing to save, for more space. But I got to tell you, though, we did 6 each, and even by the 6th one, it wasn't getting any easier. It was super emotional, and it's the first time that Lisa and I have ever done anything. We've done a lot of work with veterans. We've done a lot of other things on Memorial Day and doing things with flags and stuff, but I've never laid wreaths before. And this was a whole different experience. And if you haven't done it, I would encourage you to find a veteran cemetery near you and do it, because it helps you remember the people who have given their lives so that we can do stupid shit like this league and this podcast. So all right, and the last thing is
go
ahead.
I've done it twice.
Yeah.
2 different cemeteries.
Yeah.
When you first walk up, it's a sombering sight.
Oh, it is.
To see all those gravestones lined up in perfect order. And then when you have 100 people, we probably had 100, maybe a little less on the other one, but we only probably had 600 tombs.
Yeah.
But to hear all those people saying those names out loud, it's just wild.
It's wild. And to be honest with you, Yogi, I didn't know that that's what they do.
Yes. Yes. Not on the first one.
So which I thought was cool, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. But then when you go to do it, it is cool, but it's also, like I said, you said sombering, it's very emotional. We couldn't even get the names out on the first person. The first attempt. It's just so crazy emotional. So
it tugs at your heart, no doubt.
It does. It does. I would encourage anyone and everyone to do that if you get the opportunity, for sure.
Absolutely.
And then the last thing is I'm going to tell you what we did that was on Saturday, and then on Sunday, and this is an older picture because we forgot to take a picture this weekend of the thing, but yesterday, I'm going to brag on my daughter-in-law for a minute. We went to another one of these markets. They look very similar to this one. This is a picture from back in November for her business, Rustic Pages. I've actually shared it with Clams before. She does all the artwork you see, and I had to cut the picture, unfortunately, but all the artwork you see on the left, all the artwork behind her, and I had to cut the right side off. It's all her own artwork. And then she does this cool thing on the front table there. It's called blind date with a book. And what happens is you tell them like the genres you like, what you don't like, and all that stuff about a book, and they choose a book for you. And they not only do they choose the book and wrap it for you, so you could every single month. If you do a monthly thing, you get the same thing every month, like a not the same thing as in the same book, but it's wrapped and everything. She puts in a bunch of her own artwork in there. You get the bookmark and all this other stuff, and then on the outside there's like one of those library cards that she hands write or my son hands writes for her the description of the book, like what kind of book it is, the genre, with what it's about. It's just a really cool thing. And so I know I had mentioned her weeks back, but I thought, you know what? We were just there, and we spent there all. We were there. Here's the thing. We have this restaurant called the Drawing Room. It's inside the Tennessee, and the Tennessee is the nicest hotel in all of Knoxville. And the Drawing Room, I don't know if it still is, but it used to be a Michelin star restaurant, and we go there a lot because they just have the best steaks and the breads, the focaccia breads and things they make. It's just great. They have a great wine selection, etc. Right? Well, hey, what's up, crazy? I know you got 2 things to do at schools or something, or maybe is that today and tomorrow, maybe. But we got to the restaurant, and I forgot on Sundays they don't open till like 4, or 3. Maybe it was 3, and it was like noon. Because we were going to eat first before we went to see him. So we ended up going to the market and shopping for like 4 fucking hours in a market. And Lisa was in like heaven and I was in hell. But anyway, we spent a lot of money. We ended up doing a lot of our Christmas shopping, which was great. And then we got the fuck out of Dodge and went and ate some good food. So that's about that on my weekend, my storytelling. So check out Neapolitan Nights on Spotify. If you get the opportunity, Wreath Lane it'll change your heart. And then if you're so inclined, if you like books and candles and artwork and bookmarks and all the things, Rustic Pages Co., knock yourself out. Hook my daughter-in-law up a little bit. What time is it? Oh my gosh, I am ahead of schedule. We have bullet points, but I'm going to hold off just for a second because I saw Special K just join the booth, so I want to say hi to Keith. Keith, what's going on with your internet, buddy? Are you on the phone like Yogi tonight, or what's going on?
Hopefully y'all can hear me okay. Yeah, my internet is out, and last I heard, it's not coming back up until tomorrow morning. So I am SOL for now.
That sucks. Well, at least you can see the screen, I'm hoping, right? And then you can hear us.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So you're good there. You're good.
Yeah.
So I don't know when you jumped in, but so you probably saw the recap that I just did of.
I just jumped in a couple minutes ago.
Yeah. So, I just shared what I thought was going to take a lot longer. I figured 3 stories. I'll probably be here like 20 minutes, right? But apparently not. Gunny says, let's go with the over, even if Dave says we are on time. Yeah, but I got no awards, and these 3 stories went like 9 minutes less than I thought they were going to. So
well, now I'm here. So
oh yeah, that's true too. I am going to do this though because so many more people jumped in. I'm going to shout out one more time just because I'm stalling for time while I wait for somebody to get here. But I'm hoping that these people are still here. Annie's still here. It says sounds like the '90s no internet. Oh, I don't ever want to go back to no internet. Annie, Gunny's here. Crazy Canuck is here. Soto, Clams, Mike All, Ray Bashan, Corn King, Corey Menner, Twin Screw, what's happening? Leather's in the house. Freddie's here, which is great. Freddie, are you still with us? Or did you just come to say hi and bounce? And who else? Who am I missing? Who have I not said hi to? Churchill. And a few other people hiding, and a couple new people that are listening. Bo Martin Jr. is listening. Bo Martin Jr., what's up, buddy? And we're about to do bullet points here in a second. Crazy Canuck, Ray Bashan. Who else? Leathers, Corey. Yeah, I think that's it. And a couple new people. So it's good to see everybody. I appreciate it. We are going to go ahead and start bullet points. But like I mentioned, I got to run to work, but we'll leave this running. That's cool. We always appreciate the viewership, Zach. We are going to do bullet points. But Bullet, it's not here, as I mentioned at the very beginning of the show. And good to see you too, Dave, and all of the mob peeps. Yes, Leathers, absolutely. It's always fun to hang out with everybody. As I mentioned at the very top of the show, he is at his company Christmas party tonight. It says he's going to check in at some point, but he is unable to be here. So, because he's not here, and I don't want to do his bullet points, I said, who could I find to substitute for Bullet to read his bullet points. Does anybody have any ideas? Because I had a great idea, and it has to do with something I shared just a few minutes ago. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show, Bo Morpheus Jr. in the house. Bo, what's up with you tonight, buddy? How you doing?
Yo, is this thing on? Can y'all hear me okay?
We can hear you perfectly, bro.
Thank you very much, man. What's going on with the mob?
We are chilling like villains, bro, and except Bullet's fucking partying with his work people.
Yeah. Oh, listen. I've seen enough movies to know how those doggone Christmas parties go. I know there's all kind of spiked eggnog and dirty dancing and sneaking off to the bathroom. Yeah, I know. I've seen enough movies. I know what's going on.
And hopefully it's not at like Nakatomi Building or some shit. Just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Let's hope it's not.
At the just a few minutes ago, I don't know if you heard yet or you were there, but I shared me being on the show your show last Wednesday. Shared the graphic, told them where to find you. And all that
I
stuff.
saw it, man. Thanks for the plug, dude.
Oh, bro, I mean, 4 fucking hours, man.
It was a huge chunk of life, wasn't it?
I mean, I want to know, how did Mike make it to work? Because we got off at what, 2:15, 2:30?
Yeah.
Didn't he have to get up at like 4 for work?
Mike has to get up at the butt crack of dawn. So I think Mike ended up getting like 3 hours of sleep. And of course, I didn't get to bed when I hung up. As soon as we got off the recording,
work,
I didn't go right to sleep. So I went back to work. So I ended up getting about 3 or 4 hours of sleep. But yeah, that was a marathon, dude.
There's never a time you're
but
not
don't
working,
worry, for whoever listens to the show, don't worry, it wasn't all one show. It was 2 shows. We did 2 shows. So
yeah. So I told me to split it in half. The first half I think comes out this Wednesday, and the second half comes out the last Wednesday of the year.
You got it.
All right. Awesome. All right. Well, so you remember how this works? I think I remember. Didn't you sub in for him a couple times, like back in the Access Live days?
I did. I remember that very well. It's always a pleasure to sub in for Bullet, man. I don't necessarily have his mojo, the way he reads stuff, and the dry edge he has, but we'll go ahead and try to give it all we can.
Well, you do your thing. So what would
see if we can,
just to recap on how we do it? I'll say bullet point number 1. I'm gonna hit the drum roll. When the drum roll.
Christ!
What is that?
I guess Ray's here, everybody.
Yeah, I'm here. Hold on.
What the heck, bro?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Oh yeah. All right. Ray, are you actually here, or did you just like log on?
Fucking. Okay, so I was here and I was waiting patiently to sit here and say, "Hey, I was here."
Okay.
Because everybody wants to hear Bumpy Johnson's beautiful voice instead of mine.
That's not a lie.
And then I forgot I have my volume on my phone while I'm working, so I can hear my phone ring in case somebody calls me.
Oh, jeez.
And then my daughter had a fucking eye appointment just last week, and I get these fucking phone calls maybe like a week later, be like, "Hey, can you take a brief survey?" Shut the fuck up.
So no survey.
So that's my phone was ringing, and I apologize for that. It scared the shit out of me.
Well, now that you're here, are you going to do the drum roll? Because I was getting ready to do it, but if you're here, I'm going to have you do it. Okay. All right. So, Bumpy, as I was trying to say before that obnoxious noise entered our eardrums.
Man, yikes.
I'll just say the bullet number, and then he'll hit the drum roll. When drum roll's done, you read it. There's 5 bullet points, and then we have something now that's called bonus bullets that we do right after the 5th bonus, and it's where he kind of wraps up Ray's rant from last week usually. So that's how it is. So if you're ready to go, I'm ready to go.
Bonus bullets.
Bonus bullets. All right, folks. In place of Bullet Beletsky, who is too busy partying at Nakatomi Plaza to hang out with us.
With no eggnog.
Hopefully no eggnog, but he had all plans on getting hammered tonight. We will be reading his bullet points that he sent me this morning. So, with no further ado, bullet points from last week's show. Bullet point number 1. I forgot about the gong.
that all of a sudden it adds a little dark element to it, when he does that.
Right?
The gong comes in. It takes me from all happy to all of a sudden I'm like,
We should get like a drum roll where it just sounds like a fucking
Dude,
magazine just
you
going
sound
off
like
again.
you sound like not the. I don't think it's the Grinch, but it's something like that. What is that?
"You're
laugh?
a mean one, Mr. Grinch." No. Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Bullet point number 1.
I knew I budgeted more time tonight for a reason. Go ahead.
Dave was introducing the panel and exchanged pleasantries with everyone until he got to Ray.
Of course.
Dave said, "What's up, Ray?" And Ray screamed, "You can go F yourself, crazy." Now, a first-time listener might have thought that was extremely rude, but Ray, of course, was referring to Crazy Canucks Ohio State bashing in the chat.
Oh, he's already doing it.
Finding a bullet point that includes an Ohio State bashing is a great day for me.
Yeah. Bullet doesn't like Ohio State. Crazy Canuck doesn't like Ohio State. I don't fucking like Ohio State. And I don't remember what Crazy was saying, but that is an absolute true story last week. And look, he's already doing it again, Ray. 1310 in the chat. Just say, okay.
27-9.
Yeah, well, this year.
Ew.
Finally. I mean,
You need a lozenge, dude? You got a cough going on there.
hey, how many thousands of days was it between victories for Ohio State over Michigan? Crazy Canuck probably has that information. But anyway,
we can also bring up the thousands of days it took for them to finally beat us.
Yeah, it
No,
took
we're
like
not-
15 years or something,
okay,
dude.
first, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the other thing. All right, moving on to bullet point number 2 from last week's show. That fucking gong. I don't know why that gong gets me, but Bo, you're right.
Just let me read at least one of them. No, I'm busy. Can I just read that one's short, man? You can let me read that one. Just let me read that one. It's just one. Okay, fine, just one. Substituting here. Bullet point number 2. And I don't know if y'all know who this is, but I'm just bringing it on. I'm gonna add a little bit of spice to the show because things get kind of bland around here. Like a doggone hooker with no KY. Anyway, Dave mentioned setting up some kind of draft for the incoming players, and in the chat, Gunny and the Cardinals are set on drafting Keith's mom.
Oh, God damn it.
Did Gunny say that last week?
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What she look like? What she look like?
That sounds like something Gunny would say.
Oh.
Me and Gunny, we about the same age. She got a badonkadonk. Give me the mic back. Give me the mic. Well, I wasn't done. I want to find out more about
Get me out of here.
Bo, you got to get that mic back.
Let's talk about your mom, Keith. Is she single? It doesn't really matter. I just want her for one thing. Well, 2 things, but anyway.
Why again did I sign up to do this day?
This is really risky considering we also have Greg Soto here.
Right.
Tell your friends I'll talk to them later. Okay, bye.
All right.
Bye.
Holy
All
shit.
right.
Bo, who is that guy?
That was Bubba.
Oh, it's Bubba again?
I swear. Yeah,
I didn't know you still hung out with him. I thought you kicked him to the curb years ago.
Well, I kicked him out, right? And then he got arrested. And so he got put on freaking probation again. And so now he's on a house monitoring device, so he can't leave.
Soto, what are you trying to say in the chat, bro? All right, well, glad he's gone. So maybe we can move on to bullet point number 3.
All right. Gone. Bullet point numero 3. While discussing the previous week's pick'ems, almost everyone agreed that the Cardinals keep robbing them of one. Wait, robbing them. Excuse me. Reading's hard. Sorry. Almost everyone agreed that the Cardinals keep robbing them of half an earnings point, so they're no longer buying into the Cardinals mystique. Even Gunny said, "I wouldn't pick the Cardinals either, but I have to." Poor Cards. They've quickly become the Rodney Dangerfields of the league. And if you don't get that reference, you suck. Dave will explain it.
Hey, yo, everybody knows about Rodney Dangerfield.
I gotta tell you. I got no respect.
See, Bo, no respect. Plus, Who is Gunny's quarterback in the AACL? Rodney Dangerfield.
Hey.
See how deep we go deep here, bro.
Yeah, hey, that is
That's why-
deep. And
that's
you
why
know,
we
I'm
invited
all
you.
about going.
Yeah, that's why
Don't let don't let Bubba hear you talking
No,
about
we
going
won't.
deep.
We won't. We won't. We absolutely won't. All right, bullet point.
Nothing, Bubba. Nothing.
Here's
nothing.
something interesting. I noticed that's back-to-back bullet points for Gunny. I don't know that I've seen that before. That's wild.
They call him a sniper for a reason.
I know. He was talking
No
a lot.
one-
I guess
no
he was talking a lot of
one knew.
shit last week, huh? Damn.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Delaney found out pretty good.
Oh yeah. I do remember that one. All right. Moving on to bullet point number 4. It sounds so out
Man,
of
what the
place.
hell? Another one about me? Okay, all right.
Keith. Bullet point numero 4. Keith explained that he recalculated the KMPR to reflect more normal ranking. Dave insisted that Keith caved into the peer pressure of everyone complaining about it. In the chat, Wink was happy about it and said, "How many Eagles do we need in this league? And who cry? How many Eagles do we need in this league who cry all the time?"
Wow. Wink was a little hard. Wow. I don't even remember that comment, to be honest with you. But it doesn't surprise me. Wink rips on Eagle all the time.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. You got one more left before until your chamber's empty there, buddy. Heyo. And then we go to bonus bullets. So
Hey,
the last
It's just as fun to shoot blanks.
that's what she said. Then one more one more bullet point. Bullet point number 5.
All right.
What the
double,
fuck?
triple, quadruple gong.
That was like a power mix gong or some shit.
It was a super gong. All right. Bullet point number 5. In the chat, Doug Day was being hit hard on his own play. Doug Day was being a bit hard. I thought it was Doug Day was being bit hard. You know how he likes Twinkies. Anyway, in the chat, Doug Day was being a bit hard on his own player and said, "Doug Day went 1 for 10 against the Giants. I think he should be traded for a box of rocks."
I'm gonna go out.
Doug,
Go ahead, Bo.
I was gonna say Doug thinks a bit much of his
I
player.
was gonna say I think the other team gets the better end of that trade.
Yeah. A box of rocks. That's a good
Box
deal.
of rocks. I mean, a box.
It's a good deal
of
for me.
rocks. It's a
good deal for Doug.
I feel like I'm on Sesame Street.
A
or
whole
something.
box.
A box of rocks.
A box of
that
rocks with
walks
lots of
with
size.
locks.
I think that's a little bit too fancy to trade for Doug Day. I would say a bag.
Oh, maybe a
Not a
bag of rocks. That's probably a little better.
A bag of crack rocks.
I guess. Oh, there's that too. They definitely get the better end of the deal that way. PSO1 Blackfire back joining us again. What's up, buddy? All right, the last thing we've got is the bonus bullets. So let's see what these are, Ray. That one was good. You nailed that one, bro.
Yeah,
I
you
know.
nailed
I'm
that
working
one.
on it.
Yeah.
That was nice. That was very nice. Well, it's good that you're in such a good mood. There, Ray's. These are Dave. These are just some of the highlights of Ray's rant.
His rant from
Okay.
last week, right?
His rant from last week. So we're gonna go ahead and burn through these. He said, "Hell has finally frozen over after Dave Dirtbag hit 2 home runs and the Yankees won their second series in a row last week."
Hey, Bo.
Hey,
Bo. Did
Yo.
you hear I hit 2 home runs and I had a double and a stolen base and I got Player of the Week last week?
No, is that what happened? Really?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
fantastic.
two
I had
weeks
no-
ago now, Dave. Not last week.
Whatever. No, well, I got the award last week because we're always a week behind on awards.
But that's just I'm just amazed, Dave, that I have never heard you mention this. You're so modest.
See,
I'm
Ray. Not everybody knew. I had to tell everybody.
I'm further doubling down on hell freezing over because I got a home run last week.
Yeah, and then he followed it up. Here's what's funny, Bo. Before you continue in the chat, Crazy Canuck is at his daughter's concert or something, a kindergarten concert. He literally has his earpiece in his left ear listening to us, and his right ear trying to listen to his kids sing.
Hey, that's dedication. I like it.
That
I
is
like
dedication. All right, I'm sorry. Continue, please.
it. All right. He compared Nate Hall to Clayton Kershaw,
Oh, fuck.
which almost made Dave's head explode.
Yeah, I about lost my shit last week on that.
That's
Yeah,
a pretty
I'm lucky
aggressive
to have
comparison.
a segment still.
That's a pretty aggressive comparison right there.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
After sweeping the A's in Las Vegas, Ray warned the Giants not to spend all their chips
I'm sorry,
in one
Bo.
place.
I got to interrupt you. I'm sorry. Can I just go back to the whole Clayton Kershaw? I almost had to kick Ray
Let's
out
go
of
back
the
to
league.
Clayton Kershaw.
I almost had to kick Ray out of the league for that shit. I'm sorry, Bo. Go ahead. It's just, I mean, I'm not really that upset about it.
The disrespect is just,
It's terrible. I'm sorry, Bo. Please continue.
All right. After sweeping the A's in Las Vegas, Ray warned the Giants not to spend all their chips in one place and said he was surprised that the Giants were allowed into the casino with a booster seat.
So, inside joke there, Bo. We call them the midgets, and Ray calls them like Kevin Hart's and all kinds of shit.
The booster seat. What's a mini giant? What would you call a mini giant? A baby giant?
A baby giant? A BG?
Yeah, you said a BG.
Hey-o. Not a BG. Not a BG. Not like staying alive, you know.
Not a BJ.
A baby giant. Are we just talking about Winkler?
Oh, now we're talking about Wink. All right, we better get through this before Wink comes back. Go ahead and finish, Bo.
Here we go. Last but not least, when talking about the Mets-Giants series, Ray said, in a battle of I could effing care less. Wait, I got to read this. I got to get straight through this. When talking about the Mets-Giants series, Ray said, in a battle of I could effing care less played at TH?
It's the.
Oh, where's the rest of it?
At the corner
What do you
of.
mean?
Can you not see the whole thing?
No, I can't see the whole thing. Sorry.
What?
Oh.
What?
That's
I can
weird.
see the whole thing.
Are you reading off of what I sent you, or are you reading off of the
I'm reading off of what you sent me. I'm sorry. That's my mistake. I should be.
Hold on a second.
I'm sure I'm at fault for this, Dave. It's not you. It's me.
Well,
It's
it
never
is me. Oh, you're right. It didn't. The whole thing didn't paste. Well,
I know that, Dave.
Well,
I was being.
I was. Wait, you were being what? What? You're being what, Bo?
I was trying to let you win here, Dave. I was being submissive.
Hey, hold on a second. I got. What's the last word you see?
Is being played at.
Okay, hold on. Bullet's gonna have his fucking hands full next week. Oh my god! All right, Bo.
Bullet point number one: Dave couldn't fucking copy paste.
Dude, I don't know how the fuck did only part of it fucking paste. There you go.
There we go. Okay. Now let's can we start this one over? Let's just rewind that and we'll just pretend that never even happened.
You want the drum roll?
I won't edit that out later.
Sure. Yeah. Give me a drum roll. Sure.
What's a fucking no gong on that shit.
All right.
Oh, geez.
Now, last but not least, and this is the first time I'm reading this. Here we go. When Dave Axis was talking about the Mets, what? No, I messed it up. Never mind. Go ahead. Okay, let's
wait.
Give me another drum roll.
Hey, did I paste too much?
Give me another drum roll. I'm sorry. Let's do it again. Take number.
All right, here's your drum roll.
Oh, boo. All right. When talking about the Mets-Giants series, Ray said, in a battle of I could effing care less played at the corner of inevitable downfall place and hello, Whore Avenue, the Giants will take 2 of 3 from the Mets.
Wow.
And thanks for the Giants for ruining that glorious statement.
I was going to say, how'd that go for you, Ray?
That was my only bad prediction last week.
You know what?
It sounded slick, though. I got to say, it was actually,
did.
I don't know if you wrote that down ahead of time, but it sounded slick.
Now we have to give Ray one of these.
Yep.
That's it. Bo Morpheus Jr., you crushed it as always, bro. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you stepping up for Bullet. And I appreciate you again for having me on last week on your show.
Always a pleasure, man. Absolutely.
Thank you, everybody. We can do a clapping one there for him, Ray. Bo Morpheus Jr. subbing in for Bullet Beletsky with bullet points.
Thank you. Yes, I'll tell him you said bye. I'll tell him myself. Bye, y'all. Okay, all right. Jeez.
Later,
right.
Bubba.
Later.
All right. Later, guys.
You know,
Thank
you know what I gave the Giants for last week?
Are you kidding me? That is just stupid.
It might be stupid. You know what is even more stupid? The standings here in season 2. So let's get into some baseball. Let's get into some mob now that we've wasted 45 minutes fucking around. I've got Soto in the house, who already said hello once, but Soto, let me reintroduce you. The owner of the Las Vegas Athletics is in the booth tonight with us. Soto, what's up with you tonight, buddy?
Doing good, man. Just having fun, smiling over here, listening to you guys.
Yeah, dude, Bo's always a riot, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Also, Ray Bashan, in case you hadn't heard, is here.
They actually do want to hear me? What the fuck?
I don't know. I mean, everybody heard you a few minutes ago with that weird noise.
Oh, my ringtone.
Yeah, it was. I think you guys.
If you don't watch WWE, you don't understand it.
I don't understand it. Also, Keith is in the house. You guys heard him for a minute earlier when Gunny was talking about his mom. Keith, what's up?
Yeah, BMJ, if you're still listening, I may need Bubba's address. Let's just say Bubba may be getting a visit from my dad here in the next day or two. Who knows?
And then last but certainly not least, Yogi Bar's in the house. Yogi, what's up with you, bro?
What's going on? We're getting into some baseball now. Bo is great.
Oh, he's so great. Yeah, we're finally getting into some baseball 45 minutes into the show. Welcome to the baseball show, folks. The baseball portion of the show, way much shorter than everything else. I'm going to start with Soto at the top. Soto, A's have had it rough. All I want to talk about on this first round is just the standings. They happened to, hit a bad streak when the Giants hit a good one. As you look at the standings, Cubs and Orioles tied. I mean, the Cubs were in third place just 2 weeks ago. Lots of things have happened, topsy-turvy in the standings. What stands out to you the most as we head into week 6 in the standings just for the 5 weeks?
Honestly, it's the Cardinals and the Athletics. I mean, I really didn't think neither of those teams were going to be down at the bottom.
Yeah.
The only thing is that there's still a handful of weeks left to kind of turn things around, and the goal is to try to get to 500, and I'm sure the Cardinals feel that same way. I mean, they're 5 games off of being 500, but I mean they got to get into a good winning streak, and so do the A's. That's one of the biggest things. I am still surprised that the Brewers have only lost 3 games.
Yeah.
3 more, 3 less games than the next team, the Mets, 9-6. I'm kind of surprised. I figured people were going to be, there's going to be a little bit of, a bit crunched up, standings wise, like the ones on top, 8-7, 8-7, 9-6. I kind of figured it was kind of going to be like that, being already in double digits. That's kind of surprising to me still.
Yeah, Yogi, let me piggyback on what he just said about that. Are you surprised that the Brewers are 12-3 and literally running away with the league at this point? I agree with Greg. I think there would have been, if not necessarily everybody bunched together, there would at least be some people way falling behind. But really, what it looks like to me, it's you and then all the rest of us within a few games of each other.
Yeah, we ride a fine line. We have to have no mistakes in pitching and no mistakes in defense to win these games. The speed element has really not kicked in yet because we haven't been getting on base enough. But it's such a fine line we run on every one of these series. If somebody jumps out on us 6-0, it's over. We don't have the firepower to come back, so we have to play perfect defense and perfect pitching to stay in all these games, and we got to have close games. But I'm enjoying the heck out of that.
Oh, I bet you are. I mean, because even if, and I'll go to Ray on this, Ray. Even if the Brewers do a reverse kind of Yankees thing from last season, which the Yankees and Cubs are doing this season, exactly what they did last season, playing possum, and then now they're starting to come out later on. But even if the Brewers were the other way, Or do I need to worry about that? I guess here's a better question, Ray. Do we need to worry about the Brewers starting off too hot, shooting their load too early, and coming back to the rest of the pack later in the season?
Well, here's the thing about the Brewers. I don't think they have actually. This is not me being like I'm a Brewer, so I'm going to say this.
Right,
No,
right,
this
right.
is me being non-biased. Okay, the Brewers have not shot their fucking load at all. If you can say anything, they've probably shot their load once, and that's when they beat the Athletics 10-0 last week. That's the only time where they've actually shown that they can shoot their fucking load whenever they fucking want to.
Yeah, otherwise
Any
it's
other
1 and
game,
2 run
it's
victories,
been
right?
like
Yeah.
2-3 run games for the Brewers.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think? Actually, I'm going to go another round on this just because I want to touch more teams here. Greg, let me go back to you, back to the top. Let's talk about the Yankees and the Cubs. How is it that the Yankees specifically, and we can throw the Cubs in there as well, are doing the exact same thing they did last season, starting off the first 3-4 weeks or whatever, kind of right? And then the Yankees especially, right? Because the Yankees and Giants were terrible the first couple weeks, and all of a sudden the Cubs are tied for first. Yankees are only a couple games behind. What's the I don't know, what's the element there that the Yankees and Cubs have that they don't know how to start, but they seem to know how to finish?
I think it's just figuring out what exactly they're going to use for their lineups and also the progression, like how certain archetypes are progressing. Yeah, that and honestly, let me to go back. I know you didn't ask this,
No,
but
it's go ahead,
dude,
go ahead.
it's crazy that the OGs, you could be 6-9 and only be
Yeah.
2 games back, and
Yeah.
you could be 6-9 in the new guys and be 6 games back. That's a 4-game fucking difference. I just looked at that. I'm like, yeah, you know what? The Yankees are moving up, but it's weird because they're 6-9, but everybody's like, yeah, you know, the Yankees are doing well now, and they're 6-9, but yet they're 6-9, but they're only 2 games behind, and the Giants and the Athletics, I mean, we're 6 games behind the Brewers.
That's pretty wild.
It's a wild difference there on the strength, I think, of the Brewers and the Mets kind of pushing everybody up a little bit, you know. But yeah, dude, Yankees, Cubs. Did I see this coming from the Cubs? Probably not. I thought the Orioles were still going to be the team to beat, and they could still be the team to beat. You guys are tied, but Yankees moving on up, man. It's got to be, Delaney doing what he needs to do and making sure the guys progress the way they need to progress. And now they're going to get a little jolt in the arm too, because it's no longer going to be an AI player there taking over. Now you're going to have a human in there too. Now again,
I just realized I skipped Keith. Keith, sorry, bro. I saw that you were muted, and I was gonna go. Oh, I'll go back to him after Ray, and then I never went back to you after Ray. Are you with us actually?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, all right. Let me ask you:
Is your mom with us?
Is your mom with us? Can you ask?
Oh my
No,
God.
I don't. Ray's mom's with me always, but what do you think? What's your take? You know, we talked about the Cubs and Yankees being good early and then not so good. Orioles seem to be kind of the opposite, right? Last season, they led everything the whole season. It got closer near the end where we lost a couple games and then we lost the playoffs. Now the Orioles are fighting like they were in first place. They dropped a second on the very last day of last week. They finally win another game, but they've dropped 2 series in a row. So what's the deal with the Orioles, who seem to be kind of the opposite of the Cubs and the Yankees?
If you want my opinion, Dave, I think part of it, actually probably a decent part of it, is pitching. I think compared to the rest of the league, I think Lisa is definitely struggling a little bit. I think the bullpen has been not as good as some other bullpens, like, for example, Milwaukee. Granted, they're killing everyone in pitching, but I mean, the bullpen pitchers have to play too. So yeah, I think the offense is there for the Orioles. I mean, judging by the total stats on the season, I mean, they're not even close to last in runs scored, and they're not even close to last in hits. So I don't think that's the problem. And so it's got to be something else. And I think at this point it's probably pitching. That, and it could honestly just be, having a few close games go the other way instead of your way. I mean, we all know that can happen in any sim league. So
you know what? I think so. Lisa's had to exit twice for injuries, or quote unquote injuries, right? One time I think it was later in the game, 4th or 5th inning maybe, and then the other day it was like first or second inning.
I think she had one out
in the
before
whole
she
game,
went
right?
out. Yeah.
Do you think that is a factor? Does that hurt her at all? I know it hurts her stat wise, obviously, because she won't have as many, innings pitched, won't have as many strikeouts, all that stuff as the other pitchers. But is it hurting her player? You think to keep getting tossed out of games? Like she's getting tossed out of games, so then she doesn't get a full start in. She comes in back in the next start and maybe doesn't pitch so well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. I'm not necessarily sure that it's hurting her player, just because I think we know that all pitchers in this league are pretty capable on any given day. They just don't always have it every single day. Like
Right.
some pitchers have it more than others, more often it seems like. And I don't know if Lisa is that kind of pitcher, but I mean, does exiting the game earlier hurt Lisa's player? I'm not necessarily convinced of that. Other people may think differently, but I'm not convinced.
Yogi,
I got a point on that. Yeah,
go ahead, buddy. Go ahead, because I'm gonna go ahead and say that, and I'm gonna follow up.
Okay, I think it does, because I saw it last year on the Yankees, where she went in the middle of the season. She just started having bad outings. She wasn't getting knocked out of games, but she wasn't lasting 3 or 4 innings, and it affected her continuity going into the next start. You could see it carry over.
Lisa,
and then later in the season, as her build progressed, she.
Oh, we lost you, Yogi. She what? Don't leave us hanging, bro. She what? She what?
I thought my internet crashed for a second.
Oh, we lost.
Yeah. And I'm the one whose Wi-Fi is out.
I was like, oh, what happened to Yogi?
She worked her way out of it, grew out of it.
Oh,
okay, there we go.
All right, there you go. There you go. We lost you for a minute. Is Yogi back with us?
Oh.
Is he gone again? Oh shit!
Is this why he's been leaving and rejoining the call?
Dude, crazy Canuck, and then he's like, she what? She what? I was gonna
vibes of what's in the fucking box.
I was gonna ask Yogi about the Mets and Giants, but Ray, I'll go to you on that one while we figure out what's going on with Yogi. Here's two franchises going opposite directions right now. Mets started out hot, Giants started out sucky. Now the Giants are hot. And the Mets are so. Now I know they're still 9-6. A lot of people have them in their top 2 or 3, but they're not. They don't seem to be the same Mets that we saw in the first couple weeks. What's going on with those two teams?
No, it's definitely not the same team as we saw in the beginning of the week. I can't really explain what it is. It may have just been that spark of fire in the Mets to be like, hey, we need to beat the fucking Brewers just to shut them the fuck up and give us some credibility in this season. And then just straight after that, I don't know what's going on with the Mets. It's really random for them to just show up randomly.
To be fair,
it's got to be the New York teams, Dave. For some fucking reason, these New York teams want to start off slow and then decide.
Well, no, the Mets are the opposite though. They started off fast, and now they got what? Did they get swept? They got swept by Milwaukee, and they beat the Giants 2 out of 3, but they lost the third game. So, they're what? They're 2-4 in their last 6 games.
Did you say the Mets got swept by Milwaukee
or whoever? Who was it that got swept?
No, the Mets won that series.
Oh, Mets won that series. I'm looking at the wrong sheet. Hold on a second. Let me pull up
the Mets beat us 2-1. We lost game 3 in overtime.
I got it now. I was looking at the what was I looking at? Oh, Brewers. I'm sorry. I'm looking at Brewers A's, bro. My bad. My bad. Whatever, man. Here's the deal. My point is that Mets are 9-6. The Giants are 6-9. One series could literally turn that around. Mets beat the Giants 2 out of 3 last week, but they only beat them 2 out of 3. The scores of that game for the Mets, they won the first game 4-1, which is pretty decent in this league, right? They won the second one 3-1, so it got worse. And then they lose the third game, what was it, 2-1. So I don't know. When I look at the Mets, I still see a top 3 team, Ray, and I'll let you close with this before I see if Yogi's back. I still think they're a top 3 team or so, but I don't know. They just don't seem like they're as dominant as they were early in the season. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I could definitely see them as maybe a top 4. I see the Mets definitely making the postseason. I see them getting above the Giants, staying above the Giants in athletics and getting into the postseason. As much as I want to say they don't get in the fucking postseason.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. I just dug out of the trash the weeks before the scores. So the Mets did beat the Brewers 2 weeks ago, 5-3. Then they lost 2-1, and then that close game at the end, they won 4-3. So, I mean, I guess I don't know. I just don't feel like the Mets are dominating like they were, and I feel like the Giants. And I'll go to Yogi if he's back. Yogi, are you back?
I'm back. I'm back. Yeah,
I feel like the
Discord
Giants
crashed on
have
me.
great momentum right now. I think Troll is pitching way above his weight. And I just feel like I could see the Giants trying to fucking compete for second place in this division. What's your take on the Giants, Yogi?
My take on that, on the whole newbies division, is we got 9 games left in our division. I'm pretty sure. So we each got to face each other 3 more. Anything could happen. I mean, we're only 6 games apart maximum, and the Mets are only 3 games away. One sweep and it changes a lot of things quickly.
Yeah.
You know, the Mets could jump up to a game. If we get swept and they win 2 out of 3, they're 1 game behind. If they sweep, we're tied. It could happen easily in this division. Anybody can beat anybody. It's great matchups. I think the Mets match up against us better than anybody else in the league. I can't put my finger on it, but when I simmed games with them, they were all just tight defensive games, and you know they won it on a defensive play.
I think Wink says the same thing about the Brewers. Play. Yeah.
They just match up really well, really and truthfully
do match up really well. Keith, I'll go to you a second time since I skipped you the first time, so everybody gets 2 shots here. Let's talk about the A's. It's the only team we haven't really talked about. They're 6-9. They were predicted to finish first in their division. They started off by sweeping what I would think was the Cubs in week 1. Then they got swept, but then they swept, so they're 6-3. And since they were 6-3, they've been swept twice. What's going on in Las Vegas?
I think part of it is Soto has been struggling recently a little bit. It looks like he's been kind of dropping in that league leaderboard standings a little bit. That's stats wise, of course, but I don't know. I mean, it's kind of the same reasoning that I would give if someone asked me why the Cardinals have been struggling so much, which is, I don't know, because it seems like we shouldn't be, but we just are. I've thought since the beginning that the A's are one of the more complete teams in the league, and yet doesn't matter because they keep getting beat.
No, but
my opinion,
but you're right. Yeah.
My opinion don't matter. My opinion, I mean, of course, my opinion never matters. It seems like. No, I'm kidding, but
only,
no,
that's
I
not
mean,
true.
I don't know.
It's only when you give them.
That's true. That's fair. Yeah. That's fair. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any one thing you can point your finger at. It could be one of those instances in sports where one thing leads to another and it all builds on itself, and then next thing you know, you're in a rut and you're panicking. I think there's probably been a number of sports teams in histories that have found themselves in a similar situation, and I think you could argue that the A's and probably the Cardinals, and I mean, you could just throw the Cards, Giants, and A's all in that same group, where it's just one thing leads to another, and then there we are, all at the bottom of the standings.
So let me follow this up and see if you can answer.
I got 1 point real quick before you do that.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on a second. I just want to follow up with him, and then I'll go back to you.
Okay. All right.
So let me ask this because it goes with what you said about, when I asked you about the Orioles, Lisa's struggling, so the O's are struggling. I asked you about the A's, Soto's struggling, so the A's are struggling. The Cardinals, not necessarily because Gunny pitches well, but you guys weren't getting run support for a while. But I think that's kind of an anomaly. Would you agree with me with this statement that because we only have one human pitcher per, if your human pitcher struggles, your team struggles, period?
I think in a general sense, across the league, yes, I would agree with that. Is that the case for every team? No. Is there a reason why that seemingly doesn't apply to every team? I'm not 100% sure. I guess one could argue that I don't know enough about the game to really fully be able to put my finger on that. But I think across the league, yeah, I think the human pitchers are leagues better than the bullpen pitchers, and so if your human pitcher struggles, then your team's going to struggle. That's for sure. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Yogi, your final thought before we move on.
Yeah, Greg on the mound is like that shooting guard that gets a quick foul on him and he gets ticked off, and all of a sudden he gets 2 more quick fouls and a technical.
His head's out of the game.
And then he's
yeah,
in trouble.
yeah,
He has to change his game the rest of the game. Greg gets 2 pitches that should have been strikes. I 100% agree with him. And they call him balls, and then he reacts to the umpire. The umpire reacts back by squeezing the zone on him, and he gets a bunch of walks. I mean, that's what happened in game 1. They just he tightened that zone down so tight. Greg had no zone to
and
pitch
it's funny that game reacted like that too, because we see a lot of pitchers squawking in this league, more than I expected.
But you watch Troll, and Troll gets a bad call, and you see he asks the umpire what it was, and he nods. It's like, okay, and he doesn't get squeezed.
I wonder if there's.
And I'll watch Greg get squeezed. His aggression's got to come down. His aggression's got to come down.
Well, we don't have aggression. What do we have?
I'm
trying to think. What do we have? What do we have in the attributes that could mess with
nothing,
that? I wonder.
Nothing. Clutch.
Yeah.
Clutch maybe.
I don't know. Steroids.
No, because Soto, I think your clutch is pretty high already, right?
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, it is. It is now. Yeah.
There's no explanation.
It is now.
There's no explanation for it other than his Latin blood just boiling.
What's your take on that? I know I said I was going to go, but fuck it, we're on a good topic. Soto, what's your take on that? That you see a pitcher like yours that seems to get pissed off, a little rattled or whatever, and then the ump fucks you even more when you talk back, and then you got somebody like Troll's pitcher who basically tells the umpire he looks cute in his fucking vest tonight, and he gets away with everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I do think that there's something script in the game that, when you jaw, and I think it even happens too with batters. When you see them get a bad call, you'll see them jawing, and then that'd be interesting to find out when a batter jaws at the ump and they get a bad call, what happens to that batter the next time they go up.
Oh, also, on that real quick, so I want to say this and then I'll let you finish, is that you remember one of the games you were calling, I think, you said it'd be funny if we put I think that was you. It could have been somebody else.
To get ejected.
Put
yeah,
the
it was
ejection
me.
on? Dude, I checked. We have ejections on.
Oh my!
And we still haven't
don't
had,
do it, Greg.
Oh, wait,
don't do it, Greg.
But we still haven't anybody else. Well, here's the thing. I'm wondering. We saw Robo literally turn back around, raise the bat like he was going to hit the ump, and still didn't get ejected.
No.
What do you have to do to get ejected in this league, Soto?
Wow. Is there some kind of animation where somebody spits on somebody?
I was gonna say that, or like hit a couple guys in a row as a pitcher or something like that.
Yeah, probably I could see that happening. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
You know what? It's probably meant for that. Like if you're so wild as like if you were playing this game just human versus CPU and you hit a bunch of batters, then probably you get ejected.
I wonder if I missed a
point.
setting where there's like an arguing setting that I don't have on, but the ejection one's on.
Greg's is Jack then.
His is Twin Screw's like, wait, is that a hawk to us?
Hey, it could work either way, Yogi. If I intimidate the ump and I'm gonna be like, hey, dude, my catcher's gonna let this ball go and I'm gonna fucking rock you in the head, dude.
Yeah.
You give me the call. Yeah. Either you give me the call or not. So it could work either way.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, in the chat, real quick, Winkler says some people are set up better BPs. I'm assuming you need bonus points?
Bullpens.
Oh, bullpens. Are we talking about? Okay.
Yeah.
Gunny says, I think with more time and with what Keith has been learning on the fly this season, he's very much appreciated. And then Leather said Wink for sure, and some randomness too probably. But we're playing enough games that shouldn't be much of a fact. I would hope. See, here's the thing though, right, Leathers? It's interesting you bring that up, and then we are going to move on after this. When you go to Vegas or whatever you're playing, it doesn't matter. Whatever game you're playing, and if you know what the odds are, if it's roulette or if it's craps, and how you play it, and if you know the odds of the game that you're playing. And so if you play the game long enough, you know that the house is going to take you, that the odds will not be in your favor. So you got to, stay up, bet bigger when you're up, when the odds are in your favor. However, I'm wondering, and I agree that we have enough games over the course of a season, but the fact that every single game is a new sim, I wonder if that takes that kind of part of it out of it.
That's what I've been thinking about. Yeah. Is that how like every sim is like in a vacuum?
It's like starting over. It's like every sim is starting over with a fresh deck and a hand of blackjack.
Right. Mm-hmm.
As opposed to playing 6 hands or playing a shoe with 6 decks or whatever, where the odds completely change. I feel like we're playing the same odds every single time we turn on the PS5. That's where
And
I'm
you
at.
have no history. You have no history. Like if it was all running continuous.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and they don't build on each other. They don't play off each
Yeah.
other. None of that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yep.
So, all right, moving on to power rankings, and we're halfway through the show. I think we're going to be good. Here's the new KMPR. Keith, I'll let you remind everybody what the adjustments you've made for it and how it's affected it, and then talk about how it came out.
Yeah, so I mean basically the adjustment that I made last week was I changed how the strength of schedule metric is tracked, because with the original way that the calculation was done, the strength of schedule was essentially being factored in 10x the magnitude that I thought it was. So I changed that, and now KMPR looks a little more normal instead of having the Yankees 3 and the Giants 4 like it would have been with the old formula. As
I
I
fucking hate
went
it.
back in, like I went back in and found out.
I like the drama better.
Right? Yeah, and that's what I think. That's what I was saying last week. Is that now no one's going to rage at it as much.
Yeah, no, not at
So
all.
we don't have as much content. So
which is probably a good thing with the way we go over all the time.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's a.
So, was there any
two
surprises in this week's KMPR? Now,
no. I mean, the only real movement was the A's drop from 3rd to 5th. That was
so Orioles
quite
and Cubs
literally
each moved up 1.
Yes, okay. That was literally the only movement, more or less. And I will say, if I recall, I can't check right now because my Wi-Fi is out. But if I recall, the Cubs, Orioles, and Athletics are all very, very close to each other. And same thing with Giants, Yankees, and Cardinals. Those two trios are very, very close to each other. And then it's the Mets and the Brewers way above everyone else. So I think that's interesting. Like if there's a little bit of parity this week in the league, we could see some real changes here.
Well, let's go and look at your personal one and then the rest of ours. So, Ray, are you on the drum? Let's do the drum roll for this. I think I want to do a drum roll for this every week. All right, here are your new power rankings from Keith, myself, Yogi, Keith's personal, Axis Powers, Yogi's list. I gotta look and see. I forgot what the fucking what is bullets? Anybody remember? It's called
ETE.
It's BDE. Something about eye test or
yeah.
Let me see if I can find
it. Big data eye test.
Big data eye test. There you go.
That's
Soto, I changed it based on what you told me. Is that what you're gonna roll with now?
Yes, I am rolling with that one.
So last week it was Soto's power rankings. This week it's Soto's glorious rankings, and I think he did that as a dig to me. And then we got
no. That's no, not at all. That's actually a reference to our time at in another team.
Oh, I know. No,
yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
But you used to give me shit when I used to say it all the time.
Oh yeah, but now fuck it. It don't matter now.
All right. Winks wondrous, not wonderful, wondrous rankings, and then of course we just got fucking Ray, but the other one.
I'm surprised I'm still not in trouble with Ray.
Well, I don't think she watches the show. I mean, especially probably tonight. They got that whole big SFL thing going on, so that's probably where everybody is. A couple obvious things, and then we'll go around the horn. Obviously, the Brewers are the number 1 team to everyone. The Mets are the number 2 team to almost everyone. The Cubs are the number 3 team to almost everyone, and the Orioles are the number 4 team to almost everyone. Then it gets a little interesting, and this is where I want to spend more time talking about the bottom half than the top half. And Yogi, I'll start with you on this. It looks like the Yankees and the A's now, right in that 5th spot. Giants, who have been near the bottom almost the whole season, moving up to a solid 6th, it looks like. Obviously, the Cardinals are still down there at the bottom. You know, we got 1 Giants, 1 Yankees. That's, we got some outliers, which is normal. But look at the A's, and this is where I want to concentrate on. They have 3 on 5, 2 on 6, and 3 on 7. They're the team, I think, with the most diversity in this entire power ranking. What are your thoughts on that, and why do you think that is?
Greg opened my eyes to that last week when he had them ranked at 6, when I think the rest of us had them at 3 and 4.
Yeah.
And he said a few things that hit home with me and made sense. And then I watched it during our series, and it was like, he's right. They're in a downslide right now. So I slid them down to 6 and moved the Yankees up just because the Yankees are playing some pretty good ball right now and getting good pitching out of gun. And it's just the struggle with Greg and the umpires that's hurting the A's, in my opinion. So I slid them down. The Giants deserve to come up, and the Cardinals have deserved to go down. So
Yeah.
that's how I ranked them like that.
Yep. Soto, I see that you have the Cards last as well. We already know Bullett's going to have them last all the time. Ray is the outlier on this one. We're pretty agreed that the Cardinals have been the most struggling team as of late. But talk to me about the Giants. The Giants also, with a little parity in this, but to go from 8, I think last week we decided they were probably more like 7. Now they're looking like they're more 6. This is the youngest team, the most rookie, the rookie pitcher, like by far the least valued team to start the season. And now they're starting to work their way up. What do they owe that to?
I think it's what you said earlier in the broadcast where Troll is pitching like if he weighs like Albert. He's pitching heavy,
above his weight, yeah.
Above his weight, way above his weight, man. And they're playing decent, man. I mean, they beat us. I can't logically in my head put us above the Giants.
Right.
I just can't.
Right.
I can't do it. And then I do feel that the Yankees are in an upswell, but the Giants, yeah, for sure. I just think they're just they're moving up. They just are week by week. They're chipping away.
Keith, I know you haven't been a big fan of the Orioles. I don't even think last season, but certainly this season. And I know we already talked about Lisa, so we won't talk about her anymore. But the Orioles, they've been backsliding, bro. And everybody is still keeping them in their top 4. We pretty much dominated, I think, was the number 3 spot last week. We've kind of switched spots with the Cubs in this from last week. Why so much respect or love or something for the Orioles when really we've lost 2 series in a row? The last 2 weeks have been disastrous for us, and we've only gone down 1 spot over 2 weeks.
I would just directly correlate that to the equity that they had built up in the beginning of the season by winning games. I for one don't actually think the gap between them and the Yankees is that large. And even between the O's and the Athletics. I mean, I actually went back and looked at the common opponents that the O's and the A's have played, and the A's have a better record in those games than the Orioles do. And as well, I mean, just looking at stats wise, the A's have better hitting stats across the board. They've had more hits than the Orioles. Soto is statistically pitching better than Lisa is. And so it's kind of like I was saying, like I was saying earlier, there's a lot of little things that go into the results of these games. And over the course of time, they can build up and produce vastly different results. And I think that that's a great example of that. So, I mean, to me, it kind of seems like that 4 through 6 area right there is actually pretty close.
Pretty tight.
And
well, let me follow up with this then. How do you, me, Yogi, Bullet, Wink, and Ray justify having the Orioles higher than the Yankees when the Yankees just beat them 2 out of 3 2 weeks ago?
I would just say
I didn't even realize that when I did my power rankings.
I would just say it's just because the Yankees had such a tough start to the season and the O's had such a good start to the season. You have to think at some point that the Yankees are going to lose some more games and the Orioles are going to win some more games. You don't necessarily know when it's going to happen, but you figure it's going to happen at some point. And I mean, that is a thing that people believe in sports, is that, what goes around comes around, that kind of thing. And so I think it's just a product of that, if you ask me.
It's interesting for sure. I think I don't disagree with the top. I think top 3 are pretty obvious, or actually the top 2 for sure. 3 and 4 you can argue about since they're tied. But so Ray, I didn't want to ask you a specific question because I don't want you to mess up your rants later. So I'm just going to open it up for you to generically say whatever you want about these power rankings before we move on to the next segment.
Yeah, you could chalk me up keeping the Yankees in the bottom two to them having that slow start and then now finding their groove. But all in all, I just hate the fucking Yankees. So you're welcome, Cardinals. you benefit off my hatred for the Yankees. I can't say much about the
But you didn't put them
midgets
eight
down there.
Yeah, so you didn't even put them eight though.
Yeah, no, because the midgets, you know. I don't know
think
what
the Giants
fuck's
are
going on with
playing.
them, but I see them worse than the Yankees right now.
Really?
So
I don't know. I kind of am. If you had to ask me which team do you think has the most momentum right now that that didn't start off hot, I'd say the Giants. I think, but
I don't know what's more
Okay.
controversial, the
Hold
old
on.
KMPR or now Ray's rankings.
So hold on, Dave. So
Yeah.
you're talking about the Giants having momentum when they just lost
Bro,
2 out of
they're
3
being
in the last series.
they're being right, but what they do 2 weeks ago? If I'm
I don't
not
even.
mistaken,
Oh, I
they
think
beat the A's
didn't
2
they?
out of 3, right?
They swept the A's.
Or they swept.
Didn't they
them.
sweep the
swept
A's? Yeah.
Yeah.
So they just swept
Well,
the A's. Hold on. I'll answer your question. So they swept the A's 2
Okay.
weeks ago, and then they played the Brewers. Was it the Brewers? No, I'm sorry. They played the. Oh, they played the Mets. Oh, we talked about this already. Where each game they got better. They had a bad first game. They lost 4-1. Second game they closed it up to 3-1. And third game they beat the Mets. They just beat the very last time we've played baseball in this league. They beat the number 2 team in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
So here's
Go ahead.
So here's a counterpoint that I would have to that. Okay, we all know that Troll is maybe the most underrated pitcher in the league. I think just about all of us on this show have said that at some point.
Agreed.
Or if not, they probably would say that that's not crazy. So here's my thing with the Giants. The Giants are now below the Cardinals in runs scored on the season.
That just happened this week?
That just happened this week. And granted, you can say, oh, it's because the Cards scored 9 runs in the one game. That may be true. The Giants also have the third most hits. I mean, they have like 20 more hits on the season than the Cardinals do, and they have fewer runs scored. So to me...
So they're getting on base, but they're not moving people across the
Right,
plate.
yeah.
They lead the league in left on base, I'll promise you.
They probably do. It's probably something like that. I mean, Yogi earlier, I think he said something like the Brewers don't have a big margin for error as far as winning games.
Yeah.
Shoot, almost I want to say almost all the Brewers wins are by 2+ runs. Yep. And like almost all the Giants games it seems like are 1 or 2 run games. So if you ask me, it seems like the Giants probably have the slimmest margin for error at this point in the season. I don't necessarily know if that bodes well. I don't know if that means that they're
they lost. They started off a lot of. You remember? Think about this. They started off 0-5. Let me pull the standings back up real quick so we can look at this together. The Giants started off 0-5.
No, they didn't.
Right? Yeah. Then they didn't win their first game until the last. I thought they didn't win their first game until game 6.
No. No. They started 2-3.
The Giants.
I'm looking at it right now. Yes.
Oh, did they win? Did they win the last game in the first series and the second series?
They won the neutral site game against the Cardinals, and they won the second game of the series, or they won the neutral site game against the Brewers.
What are you looking at? I thought you had no internet.
They were 2-4.
2-4. My bad.
Okay, so they were 2-4.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't
and
know.
They're 4-5 since then. So I mean, I get you could say that they have some momentum, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think that they have a very big margin for error. And like I said, does that bode well for the rest of the season? I mean,
you still have. I mean, don't have a lot of room for error either. They're the best team in the league, bro. I mean,
well, no. Now hold on a second. The Brewers have the best. The Brewers have like by far the best run differential. You could say that that's just because they're winning a lot of games, but they've also allowed like way, way, way fewer runs than anyone else.
Let me look at their last 2 weeks. Hold on. So against the oh, well, it doesn't hurt that they had a 10-0 win over the A's in game 1 last week.
So
if you take if you take that 10-0 and then the Giants lose or the Cardinals 9-0, maybe those stats aren't quite as far. You take those outliers away, maybe those stats aren't as far apart as you think they are.
But
I
the
wish you had
Giants
your
are
internet up
losing
right
those.
now.
The Giants
Yeah.
are losing those games, and we're winning them. They're not.
That's a
getting
good
the
point.
run.
Right.
That's actually
Right,
a great
that-
point.
Yes.
That's where I was going with that. Is that
Yeah,
the Giants have been losing those games more?
Okay, for time constraints, we got to move on. Unfortunately.
All right. One more thing before
yeah,
you go.
go ahead. Go
Just I moved the Yankees up to what did I put them, fifth
ahead.
over the A's?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fifth.
Yeah. Because I don't want to play them right now. I'm glad we played them week 1.
You know, Wink,
I didn't
Wink in
want
the
to play him
chat-
last week.
Wink in
Yeah.
the chat just said, "Where is it?" He goes, "I'm still gun shy on the Yankees." In the chat.
Yes. Yes.
So let's do. You know what? Let's have fuck it. Let's just have some fun for a second. Let's start. I'm gonna start at the top with Soto. Soto, if let's say we were doing like a draft, and you could pick the team you would want to play in the playoffs and a team you wouldn't want to meet in the playoffs right now. Who would those two teams be for you?
I would want to play the Cubs,
Okay.
and I would not want to play the Brewers.
That's just PTSD there.
That's that Ray home run clouding his brain.
Ray, same question to you. If playoffs were starting and you were able to choose who you could play and who you didn't have to play, who would they be?
I would definitely want to play the Giants, and I would not want to play. I don't want to play the Cubs.
Really?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
they're hot, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on over there in Chicago. What
Yeah.
they putting in them dogs, but they're hot.
All right, Keith, same question to you. Who would you want to play and who would you not want to play?
So hold on, are we talking about teams that would make the playoffs right
no,
now?
I'm just saying
or
it's
everyone?
I'm just saying it's an 18
Any
playoff.
team.
It's an
Okay.
18 playoff.
That is a tough one. I mean, honestly,
Because every team to you is the team you don't want to face.
well, now hold on. That's a whole other discussion. Honestly, hot take, I would want to play the Orioles right now.
I knew you were going to say that because you beat us 2 out of 3 back in week 2.
And that's also who we're playing this week.
Yeah.
So, but I would not. I mean, I'm not going to say that I wouldn't want to play the Yankees, but I mean, I was not looking forward to that matchup last week.
Right.
And sure enough, how did that go?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I got to go with the Mets. I think the Mets are maybe my pick for most complete team in the league, and it just doesn't show up in the win-loss record.
So you'd want to play the O's, not play the Mets. Yogi, you got the last word on this one.
Of course, I wouldn't want to play the Brewers because you're in for a dogfight of a series anytime you play. But I'm not going to pick my own team.
You can't
It would
pick
have
your
to-
own team.
Yeah, I know. But of all 8 teams, that's who I would choose right off the bat. But I'm going to go with the Mets because, like I said before, we match up so well, and then that line for error is even tighter against them. It was one catch, one hit at the right time. I mean, that's what it came down to.
So that's the team you would not want to play?
I would not want to
Okay.
play them in a series. It's going to be a tough series. It could go any way, any game. And if I was playing, I would have to say I want the Cardinals right now.
Yeah.
I don't want the Yankees. I fear the Giants because, like I said, they match up well with us. Earlier, when we played them in the second week, I was scared of them, and they got one from us. That's what I would go with.
I will answer this question next week after we play the Cardinals.
Yeah.
This week. Because I agree. But for some reason, we always seem to play the Cardinals close. I don't know what it is. It even goes back to last season. So, I mean, if I had to choose tonight, I think you're right. I would probably want to play. I mean, to be honest with you, would the A's have been playing the way they've been playing? I might jump on that bandwagon right now while they're down before they get back up.
They're due.
Yeah. I might want to fucking play with them. Otherwise, if not them, I think I'd want to play the Yankees because they barely squeaked out that 2 out of 3 by 1 run from us, and I kind of want some revenge on their ass. So probably more like the Yankees. And then the team I would not want to play, I don't feel like and this might just be maybe some season 1 talking or whatever, but I just feel like every time the Orioles play, I feel like we're going to win the series. So I don't really fear any teams. Who would I not want to play? I wouldn't want to play the Giants because then it would go against my argument that I had with Keith earlier. Real quick, schedule update. I want to pop this up. We all know the A's and the Mets are going to come on here in about an hour. And then tomorrow, that 1400, that's always colored turquoise because depending on who it's going to be, and it's usually Chad, depends on his schedule. Tomorrow, that Tuesday game will be at 1300 Eastern, so 1 p.m. Eastern, noon Central. And then tomorrow night, we've got the 2 late games with the Giants, Brewers, Cubs, Yankees. So I just wanted to make this note because I didn't post it in the server, but the Tuesday daytime game between the O's and Cardinals will start at 1 p.m. Eastern. And that takes us to, let's talk some baseball. We've got the 4 series coming up. This one starts first thing right out the gate. But let me give you guys a little information. This is the first time we're playing someone we already played this season. All right, these are the teams we played in week 2. Yep. Well, St. Louis at Baltimore. St. Louis took 2 out of 3. The Yankees. Actually, let me pull these up while we're doing them. Hold on. I'll just do this. I was going to do it differently, but so Orioles and Cardinals. St. Louis at Baltimore. Sorry. St. Louis won 2-1. Then we had the Yankees at Cubs. Chicago sweeps the Yankees in week 2. Then Milwaukee at San Francisco. San Francisco won that 3rd game. That's why I thought this was their first win, Keith, earlier. And then last but not least, not that guy. Holy shit. The Mets at the A's. The Mets swept the A's. So I want to get predictions, and I want to know why. And I'm going to start with Soto. Soto, it's revenge for you guys. You have them at home. You're coming off a rough couple weeks. Is this the perfect time for you guys to get out of your funk and, bring the Mets some revenge from what happened in week 2?
Yeah, I hope so. I want to get out of here at least 2-1 and start getting some wins. Losing 6 straight is not fun. So yeah, I'm hoping to. I'm hoping my pitching is fixed a little bit, and we could at least win the series and come out of there with 2 wins.
Ray, A's and Mets. Who do you think is going to win this one and why? Or do you want to save that for your rant?
Save it for the rant.
All right, I'm going to skip you on these then, since you're going to do the rant at the end of each one. Keith, A's at Mets. Like I mentioned, A's losers of 6 in a row and got swept by the Mets in week 2.
Keith, you're muted, bro.
You're muted, bro.
Muted.
Fuck. Didn't even realize. This is a tough one, honestly. Just because I feel like the A's are still a well-built team to some extent. It's just not showing up right now for whatever reason. So I feel like the A's are still dangerous, and they've got them at home, which, I mean, Dave, my thoughts on home field advantage in this game. So,
oh yeah, and I misspoke. I was looking at the piece of paper when I said the Mets. The Mets were at the A's in week 2. I think I might.
Yeah, the Mets are at home this time.
Yeah, so Mets are at home this time.
Okay, Mets are at home this time. Ooh,
yeah, sorry.
Shoot.
So you got, that's why I have that's exactly why I have the away and the home up there. But I was too busy staring at my fucking piece of paper.
Oh right, shoot! I didn't even notice that on my little 5-inch phone screen or however big this is. Okay, well, shoot! Now that changes the whole game, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Both these teams are well built. Okay, I don't think anyone's sweeping anyone this week between these two teams. So it's going to be 2-1, and I mean, I'm just going to default to the home team in this case whenever I think it's close. That's what I normally do anyway.
All right, Yogi.
Well, look at the last 2 weeks where the A's have lost 6 games. They faced Troll, who's up and coming, and they faced Ducati. That's 2 tough pitchers to go against. And they didn't get the timely hits because they were going up against 2 of the better pitchers in the league, in my opinion. I think they're due. I think it all depends on Chris Lee, if he can stay healthy, if he can keep his pitch count down. But I see the A's bouncing back because right now, this begins a playoff run for the A's. If they don't, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
So Greg knows it. I know Greg knows it. And he's coming into it with that mindset. Their playoff hunt starts right now. They've got to get 2 out of 3. I want to say I think they'll sweep, and that's because I want the Mets off my rear parts. I know that, but
Yeah.
I think the A's can get at least a 2-1 win.
I honestly think it's going to come down to if Soto can stay in games,
Yeah.
not get pissed off early, and get into that seventh inning or whatever. I think the A's will be fine. Also, I'll say, I don't know that I like Troll a lot. I don't know that I would call him a top half pitcher in this league.
He's getting
but
there.
I will tell you that I think Chris Lee is a top 2 or 3 pitcher in this league.
Yes,
so
he is.
You're looking at potentially, at their best, 2 of the top 4 pitchers in this league facing each other.
Yeah.
And so, and Winkler says in the chat that the A's bats have been on fire in the Sims, so that'll be interesting. But
the Sims have been crazy. His Sims have been crazy. Mine have, and so has Doug's. Because I had him sim some stuff with the lineups. Dude, they've been some fucking crazy fucking Sims.
Well, normally we go through the games, and then at the end of the night, Ray does a big, long, multi-minute rant on all 4 series. We've switched things up. We are going to talk about each series. We're going to go around the horn, and then Ray's going to do his rant on each one. As Winkler in the chat says, Chris Lee is a bitch that walks and hits too many people. Way to get your pitcher motivated for this series, buddy. As he's warming up right now with less than an hour till game time. So we're gonna have Ray rant on the A's at Mets game, and then we'll do that after each one. So Ray, you got the floor, buddy.
Athletics at Mets. What should have been the game of the week turned sour, and for once it wasn't because of a fucking New York team. The Athletics decided to put up a nice old goose egg against the Brewers, who found the hands of defeat the week before for the first time this season. It was so fucking bad for Las Vegas. Greg Soto let Ray Bashan hit a fucking home run. Yeah, you heard me fucking correctly. I hit a home run off of my old Cubby pitcher, Greg I Need Just for Men Soto. Maybe now Ling Ling will leave me the fuck alone. I love you, Greg. Don't hate me, man. The Mets, coming off a 2-1 series win, which ruined my perfect week, have everything going well for them. Seems like this Mets team has found their identity, but this week, though, their identity is going to be wearing lipstick, a dress, and being shown off to everyone in the mob as Greg Soto's bitch. Athletics get back on their high horse with a 3-0 series sweep, sending the Mets farther away from the Brewers in the standings and a 2-way tie for second.
Nice. By the way, you missed the part where you hit your home run the week after I hit 2 home runs. Did you mention that part?
Oh.
Sorry. I don't know if you guys have heard that yet, but I'll tell you later.
You had a game winning sacrifice fly, Ray.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I did.
You had a great sack that week, Ray.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome, buddy. Moving on to game 2, or series 2, if you will. Orioles at Cards. And let me remind everybody, these were the top 2 teams from season 1. The Cardinals beat the Cubs to play the Yankees in the Robo Classic, lost to the Yankees. So both these teams lost to the Yankees, the top 2 seeds. This season, in week 2, St. Louis travels to Baltimore. I think Baltimore, Keith, I think we won the first game, and then you won the next 2, if I'm not mistaken. It's so long ago, I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
But since we're playing, I'll go to you first on this one. I'm sure you're going to pick the Cards to win, but tell me why the Cards can beat the O's this week.
Well, this matchup, I think, is going to come down to one thing, and it is whether or not the power hitters of Baltimore can get a hold of Gunny's knuckleball. Because we saw that with New York last week, where the power hitters just hitting a bunch of home runs. I tried to keep count of how many solo shots the Yankees hit last week. I think the total number that I counted was something like, I don't know, it was something like 9 or 10, if I recall. So a lot of home runs off Gunny. And I think it's just a question of whether or not that happens again. Since Gunny pitches to contact with a knuckleball, that's always going to be a risk. But it's just a question of whether or not the gamble, I don't want to say gamble because that is his regular pitch, but whether or not, it pays off for the Cardinals more often than not, because I think the Cardinals defense is good enough to manage giving up a hit or 2 that seems relatively easy just because the ball just kind of lobs there in the middle of the field, but, not Not always, of course, and sometimes and you gotta throw the double plays in there as well.
Right.
You know, like I've always said, whenever Gunny gives up a single, he doesn't give up a single. He sets up double plays. So it's just a question of whether or not the Orioles bats come to play. I think the contact hitters will be fine, but the power hitters got to show up.
Yeah. And just to confirm at the beginning of what you said in the end there, when you talk about the power hitters, you're talking about Benji, you're talking about Art, and you're talking about Dirtbag.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, you got to throw Cal Ripken in there. That's who I was
Oh, and
thinking
Cal
of.
Ripken too. Yeah, you're not lying there.
I don't know about that Dirtbag guy with his, what is that, 344 slugging? That's like fifth on the team. Yeah, I don't know about that.
You don't have to worry about those first few weeks. I'm talking about what's been happening lately, baby. What's up? That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
all right.
Yogi. I mean, hey, where was your home run last week? Yeah, that's what I thought.
I didn't.
God, that entire speech from Keith took longer than a diamond massacre.
yeah. See, this is why you always got to bet the over.
We're not going over tonight though. So Yogi, O's at Cards here in week 6.
Well, first of all, for Keith, I think if you could chart this and look back, I think the players that hit the most home runs off of Gunny this season are the ones that have faced him already from last season. You take the Yankees; they played him 3 times last year. So Delaney and
sure.
Twin Screw, those guys know how to hit him. You know, Art and Benji know how to hit him. That I think that plays into that with Gunny. You know, they know that knuckleball now. You know it's going to drop out and down into the strike zone. So they're jumping on it. I've always said to jump on him on the first pitch. The Cardinals have just got to hit, period. I don't know if they can have enough hitting to win this series. I think they'd be happy right now to get one of the two. I think the Orioles, because of their power hitting and because of their knowledge of Gunny, are going to take 2 of these games.
Yeah, they're going to have to score runs for sure. Soto.
Yes.
Cards are going to have to score some runs, give Gunny some run support. But on the flip side, also, I mean, Lisa's got to stay in some games. She has 2 early exits already this season. We can't afford one this week. So what's your take on this Orioles Cards thing?
I think it comes down to like what Yogi's saying. It's just going to come down to firepower. And I think the potential firepower that the Orioles have outweighs what the Cardinals have going on right now. I mean, between Art and Benji, I mean, that could change the game in no time. And again, though, what you're saying, Lisa, if she can stay in the game and give you a good 6 innings every single game, I just think the firepower is too much for the Cardinals. I'm going with the Orioles here.
Okay. Ray, it's back to your rant about the Orioles and the Cardinals.
Orioles at Cardinals. This was a fun one to write. Y'all want to see a dead body? How about 2? How about 12? That's exactly what these 2 teams are right now. Just a bunch of dead bodies out there on the field. Started out as hot, and that flame is starting to shrink further and further until there is nothing but ash left. Maybe Dave will finally get dirty off of that. But let's give credit where it's due. Both of these teams have a couple things in common now. They did both win their Game 3 when the series was already over, so great job finally learning how to play baseball when it doesn't fucking matter. Both are now named the New York Yankees bitches. Welcome to the inclusive club, coming from the guy who is alone in his own club of 0-8. Trying to choose a winner between these 2 is going to be a lot like trying not to bang my head against the fucking desk. Really hard, and no, Dave, that's not what she said. Just because they have the best ass in the mob, fight me about it if you got a problem with that title. Give me the O's winning the series in Game 3.
Let me see your O face. All right.
Let me say one more thing about the Cardinals.
Go ahead.
If I can.
Yeah, go ahead, bud.
You know, we talk about the Giants and Trolls, the only rookie pitcher. Well, Keith is the only rookie owner, and he got a late start. So he was behind the 8 ball when the season started. So his knowledge of the builds, his knowledge of putting the team together and the different strategies, he's catching up. Watch out for him.
Yeah, I don't disagree. He's definitely made some all I'll say is changes over the last couple of weeks without giving stuff away. Moving on to another series. This is the third series we'll be discussing. The Giants, who Here's what's interesting. I fucking loathe the Giants in real life. I fucking hate them. But behind the Brewers, I think they might be the second most exciting team to watch the way they play the game. And I don't know why. I don't. They get, or maybe it's because I see them get a lot of people on base. They obviously they don't score them, but they get a lot of hits. They probably steal a few bases here and there. I've enjoyed watching the Giants, who I thought were just going to be an absolute fucking train wreck this season with all the rookies they had being the lowest overall value, etc. But Yogi, I know you're also on the troll fan club bandwagon for sure, and kind of feel that way about the Giants. But now you got to put that admiration to the side this week and try to kick some ass. So how's this going to go down for you and the Giants this week?
Well, I heard you disagree with me when I said Troll was one of the top pitchers in the league.
No, I'm not saying.
I got Troll.
Yeah, you got no. Well, because I don't think he is. I think he's I think he's punching above his weight, but he's not top half. He's not.
He's one of the top 8 pitchers in the league.
He is definitely one of the top 8 pitchers. I'd even go out and say he's maybe top 7 at the best.
6, and he's working his way up from the bottom up. So it's a progression of him coming up. I want this series. I hope we can pull it off, but it's going to be tight. Every game's going to be tight. It's going to come down to a key hit. So I worry once again we're going to end up winning 2-1. They're going to steal a game with a clutch hit at the right time, or a big home run in a late inning.
Yeah. Well, it did take them, if I remember. Maybe Keith has this data. I don't know if you seem like you're pulling data, but you don't have any internet, so I don't know where you're getting all your info. But did you guys win the first 2? Yogi, do you remember? Or did the Giants? Did the Giants?
I
want
to say they won the second one. I want to say they won the second.
Giants won Game 3.
It was Game 3. Okay.
If I remember, that was the game that was played in Polo Grounds.
So they went 0-2 at home and then won a neutral game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Lee said
we caught up, and then they scored 2 more.
Chris Lee in the chat is like, it's very hard to be a top 8 pitcher in this league.
Wasn't week 2 a home away neutral?
No,
because we're in the same division. It's
home neutral.
It's in division, so no.
This is us home neutral.
Let me see. Hold on. So let me look at it real quick. No, because Milwaukee, San Francisco, the Mets,
you're right.
are all
You're
in the
right.
same
All
division.
right.
So
yeah.
no.
You're right. I apologize.
Who am I going to now? Soto.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm kind of like you, Dave, in real life. Fuck the Giants.
Yep.
But this is going to be tough. Look, I kind of like the last series. I do not think the Giants, because they have rookies facing the number 1 team in the league, have the firepower that they need. Could they sneak out a win? Maybe. Do I hope they do? Yeah, of course. I hope they do. But I picked the Brewers here. I can't fathom the Giants getting 2 out of 3 at the Brewers.
Yeah.
At the Brewers, at Milwaukee. I can't picture that. I just can't do it. So I would love for it to happen. Don't get me wrong. Being in our division, shit, go ahead, beat the number 1 team. But I just don't think they're going to be able to do it.
Yeah, Nate. Maybe that's something we can talk about on the next show next year. This is the last show of the year, by the way.
Nate is obsessed. He is. He's obsessed with fucking strikeouts. He's obsessed with being the best pitcher in the league. Nate, you know what? From the pitcher that was the best pitcher in the league last season, God bless you, dude. Go ahead, take it. Take it.
You can have that.
Can we give
pressure.
him? Can we give him a participation trophy for just give him the best pitcher now? He wants the best. That's what he wants, Dave. He wants to be the best pitcher right now.
Maybe next show. Maybe next show we will rank them when we have more time to not be. You know
what? Let Nate rank them.
Chris, I see what you're saying. Let Nate rank them. Well, 1 through 8 is Nate. Ray or no,
exactly.
I'm sorry.
1 is Nate. The rest he don't care.
Yeah. Who am I at? Keith, I didn't go to you on this one yet, did I?
No.
All right. So San Francisco at Milwaukee on paper seems pretty obvious, but what do you think?
Yeah, I already gave my piece about the Giants, I think, earlier, so I won't say too much there. I will say, Yogi, I know you're a fan of defense, so you're probably drooling over watching these games, I imagine.
Yep.
This is going to be a lot of low-scoring games in this series. Yogi just totally hit the nail on the head. All of these games are going to come down to like 1 or 2 hits at some point. If you ask me, I think this is going to be a game of whose bullpen shows up better. And so far, I see no reason to think that that would not be the Brewers. So I think the Brewers are going to take this series. I am hesitant to go with the sweep just because I think we're going to see fewer and fewer sweeps as the season goes on.
Right.
So I'm going to go 2-1 Brewers.
All right, 2-1 Brewers. I think we all have Milwaukee in this. Most of us thinking, or at least think that there's a possibility that the Giants can pull out a game. But let's see what Ray has to say. Ray, what's your take on the Giants at Brewers this week?
Giants at Brewers. Oh, I haven't fucking forgotten what the fuck you did last week, San Fran. I gave you a break. I praised you. What did you do with that praise? You decided to take that bat and swing at your own damn nuts. It was about the only balls you could fucking hit all last week. Yes, you won game 3. Congrats. So did the O's and the Cards. But the thing is, you still fucking lost. From now on, I don't fucking care what happens throughout the rest of the MOB. You will be getting new names every damn week as long as the Diamond Massacre happens. The San Francisco Gary Colemans step into the beautiful city of Milwaukee looking for revenge from week 2 of the season. Unfortunately for them, the results will stay the same. They said in their locker room this weekend that things have changed. But as I look at the standings here, you're still fucking last. You think you have gotten stronger, but the Brewers are still looking unstoppable. It also doesn't help your case that the fucking Ray connection is finding their hitting power and speed, collecting bases day in and day out. Welcome to your own personal hell. Brewers back-to-back sweeps and back-to-back wheats. Ain't no troll about it, James. We are taking your pitches and knocking them toward the stands and away from y'all's gloves.
Boom. Wow. All right.
Wow.
Damn. Poor troll. All right, the last series here, and we got 10 minutes, so this is perfect. Let me see. Who did I started with Yogi. So, Keith, I guess I'll start with you on this one. We've got the Cubs at the Yankees. Back in week 2. Chicago swept them at home, though, and the Yankees were terrible. Yankees are a lot better now, but also I would say the Cubs are better now. But we're playing in Brooklyn, in the Bronx. So who's got the advantage here and who's going to win?
I love everything about this matchup. I think this is going to be fireworks pretty much every game. You have the Yankees who have been really hot at the plate right now, and you have Nate who's been really hot on the mound right now, especially since that dude loves strikeouts. It's insane. Which I think that bodes well for him against the Yankees. You know, it's a lot of power, and so they're going to be swinging the bat a lot more and probably going to be striking out a lot more. But they're also going to connect on a few. So this is a tough one. I think the Cubs will win the neutral site game. It's just a question of whether or not they win one of the games in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
My hunch is yes, just because the Yankees, you know, with the short porch that they have, anyone can benefit from that. So I think the Cubs are taking one in Yankee Stadium and taking the neutral site game. So I've got Cubs 2-1.
Okay. Soto, this is your old team against Yogi's old team, so I'll go to Yogi last. But obviously a different looking team from the mound, but for the most part, it's the same team from last season. You can't say that about the Yankees, though. That might be the reason that we've talked that Yankees had a tough start, but like we said, Yankees are catching fire. Chicago's on fire. Who puts whose fire out in this one?
I pick the Yankees. I think the Yankees are going to take this series, and I think Nate's going to be going back to his locker room apologizing to his team for at least 2 of these games. And then you can give that. Then he can go ahead and rank the pitchers next week after this series.
After this series, though.
After this series, he could rank them if he wants to. But no, I think the Yankees are going to take this 2-1.
Yogi. So Keith took the Cubs 2-1. Soto takes the Yankees 2-1. You've heard what I said to both of them. So take all that data and what you've seen from these teams this season, and what say you here about Week 6?
I want to go with Bullett's eye test, the data eye test. This series should be one of the best series of this entire season, in my opinion. These teams, the matchup is incredible. You got Corn and Leathers cranking them out. You got Jack Gaines and you got Delaney cracking them out.
Yeah.
You got Twin Screw getting hot. You got who the first baseman. She's starting to hit now that she's changed her batting stance.
Michaela.
I guess.
Michaela.
Yeah, I couldn't think of her name last week. I was so tired.
Oh, that's funny.
Rob Forker's hitting. I mean, there's a lot of hitting in this game. It's the opposite of the Cardinals. It's who's going to get the most hits and the most timely hits. I think the Yankees are catching fire big time. I'm going Yankees 2-1. I think the Cubs will get one of the games. So I'm going. I picked the Yankees, and I'm going to stick with my pick.
Yeah,
and go
when things are
Yankees.
this close, I tend to go with the home team too. Before we go to Ray, Keith, let me ask you a follow up. Does this game have the potential to be the highest scoring series that we've had this season?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm going to say no, just because I think Nate Hall's too good for that. But that is an intriguing question. Who knows? I'm not really sure.
Top two scoring teams are
the
Brewers and who?
Top two scoring teams are the Brewers and Cubs.
And the Cubs. Where the Yankees?
Newsflash: Nate's only getting one strikeout for the series.
Where do the Yankees stand on runs scored?
What is he? Is he going to blow his arm out 3 games?
No, he's going to get hurt like Lisa gets hurt.
I can't tell.
Keith, where do the Yankees stand in runs scored?
5th.
Okay.
In runs scored.
So 2 versus 5 in that category. Okay.
How about the last 3 weeks? They're way higher.
That's probably. That's a fair.
It's probably true.
You know, going back to I meant to say this. Sorry, afterwards, you guys were ripping on the Giants, and I was like, man, I don't remember who it was about how they could. Oh, it was Ray. I think it was during his rant, and I was looking at the thing. Giants only scored 4 runs last week total.
Yeah.
That's kind of rough.
They're like we are.
Yeah,
it's a fine line.
All right, Ray, it's your last rant of the week. It's your last rant of the night. It's your last rant of the week. It's your last rant of the year. So make it a good one and don't fucking let us down.
He won't.
I'm glad this game was left last. Cubs at Yankees. Someone's hot streak ends this week. The Cubs proving themselves as the top team in the OGs after beating the Cards and the Orioles. Yes, Dave, I'm giving them number 1 because they took the series against y'all, even though y'all are tied in record. They now have the pressure upon them to stop the uprising of the rookie-filled Yankees. You know, this matchup sucks worse than the O's and the Cards. I can't really talk shit about either team this week. They both did their job last week. Both won 2-1, proving my predictions correct, by the way. Only thing I can really say is this. For the first time in a couple weeks, this is the game of the week in my eyes, taking it away from whoever was playing the Brewers. I will also say this. If you even fucking think I am going to go back-to-back weeks of choosing that disgusting fucking team and the most overcrowded spot in America, pass the fucking blunt because I will need it also. Cubs continue their winning ways, delaying hibernation once more and disappointing Joseph Delaney to the point where he commands people to put points in certain spots instead of asking. Chicago takes the series 2-1.
Damn. All right. Well, there you go, folks. That is Ray's rant on the last one. You've heard from all the experts in the mob here. And it's time to get down to baseball now. It's a few minutes till, so we're going to be on time. Fortunately, Crazy Canuck was not here to do the, what do we call that thing, Ray? The prediction. And so that, because all you motherfuckers would have lost money, because y'all would pick the over. And we're going to go under. Actually, I'm going to wait till right at 9. I'm going to make it so nobody would have won money. It wasn't over or under. Fuck all y'all.
That's just going to be 2 hours and 1 second.
Exactly. Where's my standings? My schedule. Hold on. I'm all turned around right now.
You just passed it.
The schedule?
Underneath.
Oh, right there. Yep. All right, this is what we got. Tonight. 9:30, so we're going to have a 30-minute break so I can get my shit together. And we will have A's at Mets, which I think is an outstanding game to have on Monday night to start Week 6. So I'm actually pretty excited about that. Tomorrow, as I mentioned, the green, the turquoise, the teal, whatever that is, Tiffany color, that will be actually 1 o'clock, so 1300 Eastern time. And then we'll have the 2 night games tomorrow night. So A's and Mets kicking off here in about 32 minutes. So I want to thank Yogi, Keith, Ray, Soto, Bo Martin Jr. for coming on and doing the bullet points. Bullet, I want to thank Bullet for sending them in still. And all the guys for sending in the power rankings. I do want to respond to Doug Day in the chat. Doug says, does everybody get a +5 Christmas bonus from their Godfather? That is a big fat yes. Every player will get a 5-point Christmas bonus, and then each team has to send me a 30-point bonus for my Christmas back. So you can do the math on that one. That's just because, I'm a nice guy and shit. That's it. That's episode 7 of Mondays in the Mob. In the books, folks. I want to thank everybody for being here. Twin Screw's like, the fuck? Doug Day, Twin Screw, Crazy Canuck, Chris Lee, David Leather still in the house, Nate Hall, Greg Soto, Annie Beaverhausen, Gunny's still with us. Let's see who's hiding here. Who's hiding? Churchill, Mike All, Corn King, Freddie, hope you're doing well, buddy. Doug Britton and Bo Martin Jr. still paying attention, so good to see. The numbers started off weak, but, man, we had like 20-something people in here at one point, so I appreciate everybody being here for this. I will see you exactly in 30 minutes right here. I'm not going to say good night now. I'm not even going to say good day, sir, because it's fucking nighttime. I'm going to say I'll see you in 30 fucking minutes.